not burying the Catholic Church. I'm angry at some parts of it, but I think there's a lot of good that can be done. The Catholic Church is their own coach right now. They're their own, the future's in their own hands. Our mission is just getting completely unraveled by a small percent of really bad people. 90% of them are very good, but it's that small number that ruined it for everybody. And I got elevated to deputy director and major gifts, and I had ticketing and marketing. That's kind of when Nike and Phil Knight in the early 90s, and so, you know, obviously Austin Stadium was my project, and the Jayco Center, and the arena, and all the uniforms and the helmets, and so that was kind of my 15-year run, was kind of that growth of Oregon athletics, and then dealing internally with what I was going through, holding that in for all those years, and work and people were my out, instead of going to drugs or being homeless or killing myself. I just love people, love work. So I've been very fortunate, but it took a toll. And I knew when I crossed that line and said, went public with this, it's going to affect my job, my family, people's perception of me, people question my faith and all that kind of stuff. But it was the right thing, but a lot of bad things happened. So from my wife walking out that day to, boss at school not liking me going public, and then ultimately being fired, and lawsuit, and winning the lawsuit, and coming full grips with the priest who's been let out, and part of my life again now. And so it's just all that happened in a very, very 5-month period. Because you do get looked at different. I remember in Fresno, you walk around, people at the store would kind of go, "Oh, that's the guy. That's Jim Bartko. He's fully there." And that's kind of what I told myself. If I can't help myself back when I was 7, if I declined to answer, maybe I can help the kids now that maybe need somebody to be a role model to say, talk about it, get it off your chest. And I don't want to hurt people. I don't want to hurt the schools, the churches, but I do want to help the people that maybe are too afraid to come forward. That's my biggest thing. And then again to the Catholic Church, gosh darn it. You get so many positives, the more you hide, the worse it gets. I was 7, played at St. Joseph's Catholic Church, played basketball. The coach's father, Steve Kiesel, and lovely guy. He was a big teddy bear, but he ultimately ended up being probably what, like some of the people say, the worst pedophile in Catholic Church history. Oh, well over 300 kids. They kept moving them and moving them and moving them. That happened for good 3 or 4 years. But he ended up getting nailed for sodomy and rape. She came back, she goes, "No, that was the police." And, they were questioning Father Steve, and they want to know, did you have the most time with him? And I said, no. And for 3 days, I denied it. And that's, for me right now, honestly, that's the biggest thing I've got to get over is, if I say yes, then I save probably 250 kids. If I would have just said, "Yeah, Mom, he was doing some funny things." You start out being coach. You show up and it's your first ever basketball team. You're at that age, that is your first coach. And you know how much you idolize your first coach? And suddenly it's like, "Hey, I'm going to go to the Warrior game. Why don't you and Robbie come with me? Hey, why don't you guys next time just crash at my place? Just got to keep quiet here. And just because as much as I get in and get you guys."
So he'd invite you over, and then abuse would happen. Okay.
Yep.
And you would go
half the time with my friend on the other side, both at the same time. Yep. When you're 6, 7, 8, 9 years old, you don't know if what he's doing is right or wrong. So you don't know. So you sit there and think, okay, but it doesn't seem right. So it must be me. So you go around going, well, if it's just me and nobody else knows, I must be the weird one. The doctor down there just said, okay, no young boys stop sleeping at 7. What the hell happened? Do I continue and say nothing ever happened? Or do I finally just say, thank God someone knows now? And that's kind of what I did. I said that, and that's probably one of the hardest times, but it was a good time. I coached every one of my kids' teams for 15 years because it was like, I'm not having those kids that are playing their first team have a coach like I had. My happy time is with helping youth or helping people that need help. Why not spend more time doing that? I don't need a sob story. I don't need to. But I want to do something where I feel good about it. Dear friends here in Eugene that, hey, you helped me 30 years ago. I'm going to bring you dinner tonight, whatever you need. Just don't worry about it. But I need somewhere where people know who I am, not, wow, that's the guy. Then I spoke at a deal in Susanville in California on Sexual Abuse Awareness Month, and like 400 people in the audience, and I spoke for like an hour and a half on it. Got done. It must have been half dozen men bawling. He came over and pulled me aside and said, "Me too. I can't handle people not being happy, people not smiling all the time." And my goal in life from when I was 8 years old till 2 years ago was, I'm going through every day, make sure everybody's happy. No one's, everybody's got, they go to bed at night, and I realize now you can't do that. It's impossible. It takes too much energy. You're a dark night, and it's 2 in the morning, you can't sleep, and no one knows. You look around kind of going, I got 4 flipping hours. What do I do?
What about faith life or spiritual life?
Yeah, I don't know. So I'm kind of just, I just figure I figure something's gonna, I don't know. When I die, people aren't gonna go, God, he built Matthew Arena, or he filled that airtight, or he hired, Dan Altman or Chip Kelly, or, it's Fresno, he did, turn it around from 111 with Ted. They're gonna go, God, he battled for me. A very tragic kid story to really go on and help others in the same position. And that's much more on my tombstone than 11-1 losing Auburn. It's, I get a lot of people going, you're in God's hands right now. That kind of bugs me. Because it's kind of like, well, I get that, we all are. I really feel that. But right now it doesn't change that a man of God was the one that did all this to me. You're okay. You're okay. You made it. Really, it's not your fault. Take the guilt off.